What up? Welcome back. It is Bones, and today I wanted to talk about a couple of channels that I think are really underappreciated, underrated. You all know that this, reviewing figures game is pretty difficult. Now, I have been here for a while, so I have seen channels come and go, channels raise up, and channels just disappear. Now, one thing about me is I definitely do not subscribe to large channels. If you check out the channels that I'm subscribed to, most of them are pretty small channels or channels that like have a connection with me, or we have a history over time together. But as far as large channels, I just do not watch them, do not subscribe to them, especially any shill channels. I just pretty much stay away from them. Because honestly, I always think that if you want a real review, an honest review, especially of a line that you also collect or that you have love for, you want to actually watch videos from other people who basically feel the same way that you do. Now, sadly, there is also a lot of like undercover hater channels out there, and they basically review McFarlane figures just to get views out of it. They sometimes even use like thumbnails that actually say like McFarlane terrible figure, and I've been looking it up, and a lot of times that actually gets more views. I don't know why people like to hear people just rant on McFarlane, but it is a thing. And although I don't have anything against people having their honest opinion, that is the whole thing, isn't it? It is that these channels don't really review the figures honestly. They kind of have a underlying like snide remark, like just digging at McFarlane like personally, and then it like bleeds over into the figures. But that is their prerogative. They're allowed to do it any way they feel that they need to. That's fine. I'm not hating somebody for finding out how the system works and going with that. You have a lot of like pop-up channels that basically just show you like what McFarlane reveals, or like McFarlane figures that are coming up from McFarlane. And I don't mind that as much because you don't have to watch these channels if you don't want to. But basically, if you're subscribed to the McFarlane page, then you get all of those, news updates and stuff. So I don't really bother with seeing those as well. But you never know, sometimes you could find something interesting also on those channels. Now, we all know D Hunter. He has a great channel, great collection. He is a master army builder, and he does a lot of cool comparisons, and he has the collection to do that. So I've actually been watching him the longest, I would say. Basically when Mattel switched over and McFarlane started, or like when Mattel ended really was when I started watching D Hunter. Awesome channel. Now, we all also know Josh. Now, pretty interesting because I actually saw Josh's channel grow from the small channel all the way to what it is now. I actually had more subscribers than him like when we started, so that was pretty cool to see that he had a plan for his channel, and he like had a vision and he executed it, and he got to where he wanted to get. So all respect to him. That's the way he chose to do his channel, and it's awesome for him. That's cool. One of the great posers, action figure posers on the web. I mean, he does some really awesome things with the figures that he does have, so pretty cool. Now, we're going to start off with like a couple of channels that I actually have like sentimental connection to. Like these channels, I've known the guys, or like I really have a connection with them. I think they're pretty awesome channels. Of course, we have New York Backyard Legend. He's been with me, for a long time, and he does some pretty interesting reviews. He calls them like cringy reviews, but they are really good. And a lot of times people don't understand it. When you have a lot of things going on in your life, it's hard to get these videos out. Personally, every video I do takes me basically between 2 even like 4 hours to edit. So you guys got to understand that sometimes we don't have time to, get the vids out, but of course you guys probably do. Now this guy, even though he has a lot of stuff going on, he still manages to put the videos out. So I respect that hard work and dedication. And he likes to, do his customizations, which I'm a big fan of. So check out his channel. Now, most of these channels that I'm going to talk about first, they have enough subscribers, or they're getting up to that 1,000 mark, so they don't need my help, but I just like to talk about them because I think they're really underappreciated. Next up, you have DC Multiverse Dude. Now, I did end up just randomly commenting with him, and he's a really nice guy. I think he's from Australia, and he collects and has opportunity actually to get figures before us sometimes, because sometimes they're released like in Asia and Australia before here. So that's a cool thing to follow his channel for, because you never know when he'll come up on a figure earlier than we do. One thing about his channel, he has an awesome display setup. He has like really nice figure selection. Like, he picks his figures out specifically for what he wants them, and sometimes he'll even like move on, get rid of a figure, and then bring in another one, and he does some really honest reviews. So check him out. That's DC Multiverse Dude. Now this next wild guy, I just had to shout him out. That is Dope Figs Reviews. He came out, I took notice of him when we had that like weird guy do that like Hot Pocket and Mountain Dew like tier levels of reviewers, and that was pretty hilarious because all he did was basically like shill for like the reviewers that like are the more popular reviewers. So he had people that I do not follow at all, or like not one channel that I actually like was on his list. So it was basically, for me, it was like I don't need advice from a guy that lives in his basement and eats Hot Pockets all day. So this guy came out and pretty much roasted him, and that's where I like took notice of his channel. But he actually puts a lot of work into his channel. We really need to support him. He's really funny. And also he has some dope music on his channel, which a lot of is actually his music. And also he's a big toy biz, like that's the main part of his collection. And I don't hate on people that review different lines or have different collections. That's fine. But a lot of these channels are more like centered around DC Multiverse, or they give DC Multiverse like an honest, point of view. So that's Dope Figs Reviews. Follow him if you are a hunter out there in the wild. Now the next one is going to be Pack Photos. I think that's the name. Each one of these I'll put up their page picture so you could like look it up if you would like to. I'm not a big link guy. I don't get down like that with the links. I mean, I don't know. I just never figured it out. But this is another guy that I just messaged with him a couple of times. Seemed like a real cool guy. He also does collect different lines, has a really nice setup for his reviews. And one thing you could tell about him is that he's been like into the comic book action figure collector life for a long time, basically like me, since we grew up in this. So I kind of feel like a kindred spirit with him. But that's another cool channel to check out, Pack Photos. And finally, I'm going to shout out my boy Red from Red Pill Animations. Now, he's a pretty interesting channel because he's more of a channel for like figure photography or stop motion. That's like his main thing. But he does review a lot of McFarlane, and he's like a big fan of Spawn. But he also gets into some anime figures and things like that. But really nice guy, really cool guy, an honest guy. He doesn't hesitate to speak his mind, which is another thing that really like attracts me to him. But he is another guy that actually puts in the work, and I would really like to see him succeed. So check out his channel, Red Pill Animations. Okay, now all of these channels are under 1,000 subscribers, so I'd really like to get the word out for them. If you can, go and check them out and subscribe to them. Up first, we're gonna have, I think it's X Halo, X Reviews, X 117X, something like that. I'll put up his channel page and you can look him up. But he's pretty interesting because he like does reviews randomly, but he's a big, fan of the DC Multiverse line. And I'm actually always looking for different perspectives or different reviewers to get like their thoughts on figures that I'm going to be reviewing. Because I do that because I'm not a sheep. So I can watch other reviewers and reviews and I'll still have my own take on the figure and I'll still, do my review. But I just like to do that because a lot of times I've learned that people catch things that I don't notice, or they have a little bit more knowledge of, the character or things that I just don't know. So that's why I watch a lot of reviews. And this guy definitely has some like laid back reviews, but he's always honest and he puts in the work. So check out his channel, X Halo Reviewer. It'll be up here so you can check it out. The next one is TCP Toys. All these channels, if you like pretty much get the name right or close, and then you put McFarlane in the search, they'll pop up, because that's how I found a lot of these. I had to go back and look up each channel and get the screenshots and stuff. So he actually does a lot of photography, and he's an also up and coming channel that I'd like to see get bigger, but does some cool reviews, honest reviews. Always tells the pros and cons about the figures, so go check them out. That's TCP Toys, and give them a sub. Next we have OG Universe. Now this is a newer channel that I found. A positive guy, and he does really like crisp and clean reviews, and he's just a newer guy that I saw doing honest reviews on the DC Multiverse figures. Now he may do other figures or have different ideas than what I do, but that doesn't take away from the fact that he does do some quality videos. So check him out, OG Universe. Up next we have Bug S Reviews. I've been watching him for a long time actually. He does a lot of McFarlane, but he also does like NECA and things like that. But pretty kooky guy, but he does do some cool reviews. So I'd like to see him, get out there more. So go check him out. What is that? Bug S Reviews. Next we have, I think it's Noober Reviews. He also does a lot of McFarlane, but he mixes in other things. But what I like about him is he's like a consistent, reviewer. And he does like steadily come in with the reviews. When you think that you haven't seen a review for a while, all of a sudden one will pop up. So let's check out his channel. That is Noober Reviews. And then coming up next is a guy like I just recently, in the past few months started checking out his channel. That is Collect to Disconnect. But he is an awesome guy as well. He actually came up a lot when the Batwing came out, and he was the first to do like a comparison between the Spin Master and the McFarlane Batwing. But besides that, he also is a master of displays, and he does that with different lines. If you want to see some cool displays with different like NECA things, or I even think Spider-Man, go and check out his channel. That is Collect to Disconnect. Now this next channel is called Toy Games. Came up on him actually a couple months back, but I really like him because he's like an honest reviewer. He like no nonsense, and I could feel like he's like a blue collar guy, like the way I am, just like a old school guy, and I'm always a big fan of that. And he also like chooses his figures very wisely. Like he knows what he wants and what he likes, but he also spreads out into other lines as well. And a big thing about him is he likes to dabble in some customizations the same way I do. I'm a big fan of customizing figures. But that is an awesome informative channel. If you want to check him out, that is Toy Games. I really don't think he needs my help, but I'm gonna talk about him anyways. So go out there and give him a sub. Up next we have Amazing Coolatron, something like that. I'll put up his big page up here. Now this guy's pretty cool because He has like that weird cadence and distinctive delivery, honest reviews and consistent reviews. Does a lot of DC Multiverse, but also, you know, throw some other lines in there. But he's a channel I've been watching every once in a while just to get, you know, feel for figures that have been coming out or that I haven't gotten a chance to review. But that is Amazing Coolitron. And up next we have King Ape, APE, I think. Like I said before, if you put these names and then put McFarlane, they'll pop right up. This guy's another great reviewer, up and coming, putting in the work. Really like his style with a smooth delivery and awesome detailed reviews. Check him out. That is King Ape. And finally, the last one is going to be Pessy Waves. I think that's what it's called now. This guy, I've been watching him off and on for a couple of months and has really enjoyable reviews. He's another honest guy, you know, trying to get the vids out there and get the views. Really like his channel, really like the way he sets up his videos and the transitions with like the effects and the animations. Really interesting channel. More people should check him out. He also had a big video with the Batwing. And another thing about him is right now he's kind of MIA. I'm not sure what's going on, but I wanted to get his channel out there since I'm, you know, a big fan. So go out and look for him. I think it's called Pessy Waves. And as I said about him, that he's, you know, not doing a lot of reviews right now, or I haven't seen any. But my final words on this is going to be, if you decide to review figures or anything you want to do on YouTube or any other platform, don't give up. Nothing beats hard work. If you grind that stone, you're going to get the benefits from it. And always, always do it for the passion of collecting or whatever it is. Don't do it because you feel like you're going to get views or you're going to blow up. Do it because you love it, and everything else is just going to fall into place for you. But you must have some patience. And like I said, if that is your dream, if you want to dedicate yourself to that, I got no problem with that. Go out there and push your channel and get, you know, as many subscribers as you can. I will definitely back you up. But you guys, keep hunting out there, keep collecting, keep customizing, and I will see you on the next one.
Used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman.